So there was a devotee, his name was Kitta. He used to live on the outskirts of Guruvayur. Now, Kitta was a person who belonged to a community who was not let in the Guruvayur temple then. So basically, he and his family, they were living outside on the outskirts of Guruvayur, but he was a great devotee of Bhagavan. So though he was not allowed darshanam inside the temple, every day he used to pray to the Lord. He lived with his wife, kids also, a very poor condition. They were struggling a lot, even for daily food. They had to put in a lot of efforts. And he had a coconut tree in his house, and his only way of earning a living was by selling those coconuts. That's it. Now, though he was a great devotee of Guruvayurappan, he could not go to the Guruvayur temple, but every day he used to pray in front of a picture of Guruvayurappan that he had in his house. And the only wish that he had was he wanted to worship the Lord at Guruvayur and have Annadanam in the temple. But he was not allowed there in those times. That's when one fine day what happens is, it was Utsavam time, it seems, in the temple. And from far, they were not allowed to go inside the temple. So from far, Kitta and his family, they worshipped Guruvayurappan. Now, we know Annadanam is given daily in the Guruvayur temple and no one is left empty stomach. But only Kitta, he could not get it, as they were not allowed inside the temple. And that night it seems that all the people from the nearby areas, they were offered this Annadanam, but only Kitta and his family, they went to sleep without food on an empty stomach. Now Kitta and his family, they return back home, they go to bed. That's when, after the Utsavam ends, after the temple Nada, everything closes, it seems that Bhagavan Krishna himself, dressed as a small Brahmin boy, he goes to the temple kitchen, he packs food, everything, and he goes directly to Kitta's house. Then he reaches Kitta's house and he wakes up Kitta, and Bhagavan tells him that I have been sent by a cook only of the Guruvayur temple, and he only told me to give the food. Kitta and his family, they were very happy seeing food. First of all, he was a great devotee of Guruvayurappan, so this was like a prasadam that he had received from Bhagavan himself. Secondly, they didn't have food, right? So for a hungry person, food is nothing but heaven. Now Kitta and his family, once they finished food and everything, Bhagavan was waiting till there patiently, it seems. That's when Bhagavan asks that, after now that you've had your food, and I know you sell coconuts also, can you give me one tender coconut to drink? That's when Kitta immediately, he climbs the tree at night and he gave not one, but all the coconuts that were there on the tree. Bhagavan just has one, and he tells that all these remaining coconuts that are there, you bring to the Guruvayur temple the next day. Now Kitta agrees and he takes all the coconuts and he goes to the Guruvayur temple. Now we know Kitta was not allowed inside the temple, right? But on that day it seems that while Kitta was nearing the Guruvayur temple, the temple authorities were waiting to receive him, it seems. And in fact, Kitta was surprised. He was about to just hand over the coconuts from the outskirts of the temple, but the temple authorities stop him and tell him that Guruvayurappan himself came in their dream and told that Abhishekam today to the Lord at Guruvayur should be done only with Kitta's coconuts. That's the reason why Bhagavan had told him to give all the coconuts. Kitta was so happy that he could not express himself, and that's when he realizes he was surprised, he had happy tears, and he learns that it was none other than Guruvayurappan himself who had come to his house last night. And this is when maybe the whole world can discriminate, they cannot allow us anywhere also, but Bhagavan never leaves anyone in distress. If the world does not allow you, Bhagavan himself comes to your rescue. This is very clearly shown by this incident. So one more Leela that talks about Guruvayurappan's grace, Krishna's grace, Bhagavan's grace on his devotees.